Today we're going to take all the different parts of our rocket ship project that we have made earlier, and we're going to turn it into one finished art project. So the first thing we have to do is we're going to take our planets and our rocket, and we need to cut them out. So I'm going to start by cutting out my rocket. I'm just going to cut away all the white background. Don't cut the triangle off. We're going to cut it out so it's hopefully all in one piece. If you accidentally cut something off, that's okay. You can problem solve it. Artists problem solve all the time. Okay, this scrap can go in the recycle. Now let's cut out our planets. They're going to be a little bit different because our planets don't have straight lines like our rocket. They're round. So I'm going to turn as I cut. Helper hand is turning, scissor hand is cutting. Turn and cut at the same time. It's a little tricky, but you'll get practice and you'll be able to cut out really good curved lines too. Now when you have your rocket and all of your planets cut out, especially your orange, green, and purple planets, you have to have all three of those, we're going to glue all of those pieces onto a black background. So before I glue, I always like to lay out my pieces first so that I can make sure that they look good. My rocket maybe needs to go this way. And since I have a big space here, maybe that's where my big planet goes. Maybe a small planet. And maybe that one goes right there. Now once you have your whole picture laid out the way you like it, we're going to twist open our glue, make sure it works, and then we're going to glue everything down one piece at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiny glue dots. Not one big dot in the middle, tiny dots around the edge. And you might have to hold them down for a few seconds to make sure they stick. Shake, shake, shake. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Making sure no glue comes out the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our rocket is kind of big, so it might need a few more glue dots. I like to put one in every corner, and then maybe just a couple more in the rectangle since it's a little bit big. And then I'll probably hold it down for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just keep holding down your shapes for a few more seconds until they're all stuck flat to the black paper. To create the fire for the back of our rocket, we're going to use some scraps of tissue paper. Tissue paper is very thin, crinkly paper, and it works really good for creating fire. I like to cut my scraps into kind of like triangle shapes. They don't have to all be the same kind of triangles. I'm just kind of going for something pointy, like how fire looks, those pointy flames. I'm going to use red and yellow, but you don't have to choose the same colors that I choose. There's a nice point I could use. Okay. Now once I have my fire pieces, to make them look a little bit more like flames, I'm going to crinkle them up. Like this. And then when I glue them to the back, I'm not going to glue down the whole thing because I want this part to stick up. I'm only going to glue where it's right next to the rocket. So I'm just going to put a couple tiny dots right here. And then hold it down for a few seconds. Do the same thing again. Crinkle. Put a few pieces on the back. A few dots of glue. We'll glue it right down. And then my plan is to overlap some of my red pieces that are kind of smaller on top of the yellow. You can add as much fire as you like. When all your pieces are glued on, you can use construction paper crayons to decorate the background of your project. Now this can be really fun because you can be creative and think about what kinds of things you might find in outer space. You might find other rockets that are flying around. You might find spaceships or aliens or maybe astronauts floating around. There might be stars in the sky. I always like to add a lot of stars. Whatever you add in your background is up to you.